Fam, what is going on? Good morning to you. Happy Friday. We made it to Friday. Today is October 4th. What's going on? It's Kyle Anderson of Bambo Football on YouTube. Can I get a Roll Tide inside the comment box today on the show? What I want to see this weekend from Alabama versus Vanderbilt. Hey, could a couple prospects be on flip watch for the Crimson Tide from the class of 2025? Who do you hate most? All right, I'm going to ask you a question in terms of Alabama football towards a couple different rivals, and then I want to get your score prediction. So when you call in, give me your score prediction and your game MVP for Alabama versus Vanderbilt. I appreciate you guys being here. My goodness, we got some high school football taking place tonight, and of course, tomorrow, Alabama in Las Vegas to take on Vanderbilt. Is anybody going to the game? Is there one of the 28,000? Is anybody going to the game tomorrow up in Las Vegas? For the Alabama injury report, things are looking promising for a couple prospects that were banged up against the Georgia Bulldogs. Looks like Kendrick Law could be a game time decision. Kind of was thinking about this. Do you play him? Do you rest him? Yo, if he's ready to go, you have him suit up. But I could see, maybe saving him. Getting him 100% healthy is the most important thing. And then with Justin Jefferson, it seems like he's probable. So love where things are at from an injury health standpoint. I think, again, and I'm going to say this all season long, Jeff Allen, man, what that guy's able to do, and it's just not him by himself running around taping up ankles. He has an entire staff that does such a remarkable job getting these guys up to speed and, most importantly, taking care of. I appreciate you guys all joining. Ben, McNasty, Latoya, Papa's channel, what's going on? Christian, New Jersey, Robert Hell. Coming up here in about 15, 20 minutes, I'll take your calls. Give me your score prediction, your MVP, so we can get a lot of call volume in today. I appreciate you guys being here. Amanda, what's up? Beth James, good morning to you. Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. If you are going to the game this weekend, it's going to be a glorious day in Las Vegas, right? For the tailgate, 78. The day keeps getting better and better. This is from North Alabama Storm Chase. Follow them on Facebook as well. For the tailgate, should be absolutely popping. And then for the game time kickoff, it looks like 82, feels like 83, right? For the 28,000 that'll be at that stadium. And then for the fourth quarter, it'll be beautiful for you guys to kind of celebrate, hopefully the dub, and then walk over to Broadway and enjoy responsibly. You guys have a favorite spot down on Broadway? Where you guys like to go? There's plenty of options. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. And let's jump right into it. What I want to see this weekend from the Crimson Tide, I'll kind of start at the top and go down to the bottom. Big plays. Like, I don't want to get into this game and have Alabama not go heavy. And I think it's important following the game against Georgia, where there was a lot of emotion, a lot of excitement. Like, don't go easy on these guys, all right? Like, whatever you need to do to continue to play at a high level, like you look at the scoreboard and you want to get better every single week. Work on the things that you need to tighten up on. I don't think, playing conservatively in any sort of fashion is part of Alabama's game plan anyways. And I think Alabama, does what they have to do. But with that said, like, if you have the opportunity to go heavy, which they should, go heavy. Like, pour it on. Like, don't be afraid to lay it on thick. Like, continue to let the naysayers know that this team is a buzzsaw, that this is the number one team in the country. And you continue to perform at a very high level. Get better from that Georgia game. Like, you saw Jamarcus Shepard. He's not satisfied. These guys are not satisfied. You won nothing from the game against Georgia. Literally nothing. So continue to excel at the highest level. You have to stack wins in the SEC. So don't let this game be a rat poison trap or next weekend's game about South Carolina. Be where your feet are and absolutely pour it on Vanderbilt. All right? I'm going to give you my score prediction at the end of the show. I've already talked. I think Alabama has its way with Vanderbilt. And look, I love the quarterback. Diego Pavia, dude is an absolute baller. He's a dog, I love that mentality that he has. But, Alabama and Vanderbilt, they're built different, and they're going to be built different forever. So I want Alabama to absolutely go heavy on Vanderbilt. Do not slow down. Do not slow the tempo. Continue to go heavy every single opportunity that you get. All right. I also want to see a big running game from Alabama. Now, the last couple games, clearly because of, the opponents and kind of game design, you've went away from the running backs, right? I mean, we've showcased the stats and we've talked about the fact that Jalen Milroe over the last two games has been the workhorse in terms of running the football and passing the football. Look, in a big time game on the road, Like, let Jalen do his thing, right? No, like, he's the best player in college football. Let him do his thing. In this particular game, after you have your big plays and, you get up, like, feed these running backs. And I would imagine there's like absolutely zero wear and tear on these guys at this point in time. So, I would love to see Jam. Nothing would make me happier than this. This is my dream for Saturday, okay? Is for Jam and Justice to each run for over 100 yards. Do you think that'll happen? It seems kind of like a pipe dream, like it won't happen. But do you think that could happen? I would like to see Jam, Miller, and Justice Saints go for over 100 yards in this game. Is that too much to ask? Is that an early Christmas present that I'm asking for? I don't know. I just want to see these guys get opportunities, and I want them to get, not to say that they're not in a rhythm, but I do want to see them get into some sort of rhythm and continue to get fed and showcase their overall abilities. So I don't know. 100 yards each seems like a stretch. I would love to see it. I'd be the happiest dude in the world. With that said, though, like, don't limit big plays. Like, I want to see Ryan Williams still get his. I would love for Kobe to catch a touchdown pass. I want Jalen Miro to have 5 scores again. And if we get to a later point in the time and there's an opportunity to see some Ty Simpson come in and get some development, we continue to do that. The one thing about Coach Kalen DeBoer is he has played a variety of players. I love that. I love him making as many players feel a part of the team as possible. I think in the past, based on game situation or whatever, we haven't seen that many players get involved this early. But, man, like the rotation and getting the players in, I know some people have talked about the secondary, kind of the rotation of it, but I like players getting in and getting involved. So, but I want to see Jam and Justice kind of do their thing. Look, and it'd be nice to see some Richard Young, too. I know he was a little bit banged up. Out of the running back rooms, I feel like we just haven't seen, him kind of do his thing yet. Hey, Carol, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Jarvis, what's up, man? Jarvis has it 42-17. When you called in today, give me your score prediction, your game MVP. Let's get a lot of call volume in. I appreciate you guys being here. All right, limit the penalties. A game on the road, 3 out of Alabama's 4 games, they've been highly penalized. There's been, some of the penalties, I will say, I mean, there's probably like 3 to 5 that are questionable, and I guess that's common. But this team has also just committed penalties that they shouldn't have. So build off the Georgia game, going into this game, and limit the penalties. Like, you can eliminate the false starts and kind of some of the mental mistakes that you make. Some of the other ones, like Tyler Booker being called for what was he called for? I even forget in this last game, but it was like he just knocked somebody down, So some of these penalties have been a little bit over the top, but I do want to see this team continue to improve from a penalty standpoint, right? That kind of hasn't been it. And I've seen over the course of time, people have said that Coach Kalen DeBoer's team have had a lot of penalties. We'll see if that continues to be a theme, but I'm not really worried about it at this point in time. But with the bigger games down the stretch, you got to clean up the penalties because it will impact the overall game. You get onto the road, like you go into Neyland Stadium or, Death Valley, and you have those penalties. That keeps games close, right? That sustains drives for the opposing team. So you got to continue to limit those penalties. And that's something that I definitely want to see is those guys cut down on the penalties and the mental errors. Some penalties are just going to be called just because of the officiating, but you can limit the mental mistakes. So, and that comes back into being prepared and not buying into the rat poison. Like, you see the scores here. Kevin has it 45-17. Myron has it 56-3, which is probably similar to my score. So that is the rat poison, right? Alabama is supposed to do this. They haven't done anything. They haven't even stepped on the field, right? So you got to continue to maintain that high level and be like, yo, Vanderbilt is the next opponent. We go in with the high-level mindset. We got to pay attention to every single detail in this game because it is an SEC game. And if Alabama has to know this as well, if they play Vanderbilt close, they will be penalized. 100%. Roll Tide Prop says Kyle Ryan Williams only won overall in college football 25. I guess they do weekly updates on the video game. Yo, he's a 99 like across the board. And his catch radius should be 100. But I think Alabama will be penalized, and they're under a microscope for whatever they do the remainder of the season. So even if, for example, like this is crazy. This is the thing that's really making me mad this season is I just see that if Alabama goes to Tennessee and it's close, they'll be like penalized from that, right? Or if they go to LSU and the game is close, they'll be penalized from that. That's why I'm saying up to my top point is like, go heavy. Go heavy on these guys. Let everybody know. Let there be no question marks about this team, because Alabama is completely judged different than the rest of college football, right? Tennessee even goes to Oklahoma. It's not like they blew out Oklahoma and people were like, well, they were playing on the road and there were some injuries, blah, blah. There's always like excuses. There'll be no excuses if Alabama and Vanderbilt, even if Alabama wins by like 21, they'll be like, well, yeah, they were supposed to win by 22, penalize them. And I've seen it because we've seen it in the past. They're just judged by a different standard. It's so unfair. Kind of, again, 4 quarters of dominating football. Don't let up. Even, when we, later on in the game, if there's opportunities for other guys to get in, we have no idea if this will happen, but go heavy, 4 quarters of dominating football. I do want to see turnovers in this game. Continue to hit the turnovers. Like, continue to bring it. I want to see interceptions. I want to see forced fumbles. I want to see the defense score a touchdown. That would also make me happy, right? Create off this swarm defense, continue to capitalize and create turnovers. Not only in this game, but in every single game going forward. Like, I want to see the type of defense like that can create 3 turnovers per game. Against Georgia, like that, I want that to be the standard. Now, is that going to happen every single game? No. But I want to see interceptions. I want to see the corners come up with big plays in contested situations, like Xavier Brown's interception to win the game. That's what I want to see. I want to see Damani Jackson make a play. I want to see Jahar Campbell do something when he's in zone coverage. Can you do that on a consistent basis? Because if you do, along with elite third down defense, you're going to give this offense plenty of opportunities to put a lot of points on the board. If the offense is already scoring 47 points per game and you continue to add turnovers from the defense and you continue to play elite third down defense, nobody beats this team. And you limit the penalties, who's going to beat them? David, I think you're right, man. Watch for the penalty flags to fly in Knoxville. Yes, and that was a big thing. Someone look it up real quick. How many penalties did Alabama have the last time they went up to Neyland Stadium? Was it 15 or was it 14? It was something like that. Can someone be Johnny on the spot on that? How many penalties did Alabama have last time they went up to Neyland Stadium? Ben Allen wants to see pass blocking. He says it's legit. Yeah. I mean, the last 2 games, you've seen that Alabama offensive line continue to go in the right direction. Caitlin, what's up? We see you inside the comment box. They didn't even allow a sack against Georgia, right? All right. Last thing I want to see in this game is 3 sacks on Diego Pavia. The thing about Diego is the guy is all heart, and his athleticism, man, the guy's got it. Like, he's a quarterback they don't play. Like, he's fired up for this game. I think he's the type of quarterback, he don't care if it's Alabama. He don't care if it's Georgia. He don't care if it's Auburn. He believes in himself and the team. I like his mentality. Now, sometimes that confidence can come back to bite you in the butt. And I think going against Alabama, clearly a team that, is a lot more talented in every different area, will be the difference of the game. But Diego, see, this guy's tough. I think if you were to poll the world of college football about Diego Pavia, for those who know him, they understand that this dude's a baller. That's what Coach Kane Womack said. Yes, Rocket Down, he's a competitor. And we love competitive spirit here. So, and look, after Alabama and Vanderbilt play, I'm rooting for a guy like that. The guy, and his story. He's tough, man. But I think Alabama, I would like to see 3 quarterback sacks on him. I want to see, I felt at times Alabama didn't send a lot of pressure against Georgia, but I do kind of understand the game plan. Why? Because Coach Kane Womack said, we don't want to sacrifice a lot of pass rush and then leave our guys in man situations, because you are going against Carson Beck. But I did feel that when Alabama did send pressure, they did get to him. I like the fact that Deontay Lawson got his first sack in the game from the inside linebacker position last week. So turnovers is something that I'm certainly watching. All right, as we talk about this next point, all right, we kind of switch gears and talk recruiting. So this is interesting. So there's a couple guys that are on flip watch for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So when we look to the monitor, let me fix something real quick. I have Ivan Taylor listed twice, but there's a couple guys within like the secondary, for example, that could be flipping to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, I found it was interesting that last night Alabama did offer a prospect from that is committed to Auburn. So, I guess we'll have to see what happens. But Alabama, I think the clear indicator is that Alabama needs someone from the secondary to continue to stack onto this class of 2025, which is really dynamic. So you have Mason Dunn, who is, there are some people that have predicted him to flip from Ole Miss to Alabama. You have Malachi Toney. Now, I list that he is committed to Miami. He's not committed to Miami. He just decommitted a couple days ago. He's a 4-star wide receiver. And the thing about it is he flipped after visiting that Alabama and Georgia game, right? Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. You also have Ivan Taylor, a prospect we've continued to be tracking, right? He's a safety who was committed to Notre Dame. So Notre Dame's lost a couple guys. They lost Ivan Taylor because he flipped from Notre Dame to Michigan, and then they lost Deuce Knight the other day as he committed to Auburn. And then Donovan Starr, last night, he received, I think Thursday night, he was offered by the Alabama Crimson Tide. So something to watch as we look at 2025. And clearly, I think, seeing that Mason Dunn's a corner, Ivan Taylor's a, safety, and Donovan Starr's a corner, right? Alabama needs some help within the secondary. And you know what? Who wouldn't want to play for Mo Lindquist? I mean, we showed that clip, a couple days ago about Mo Lindquist. That's the type of corner coach that you're going to be working with. I don't want to speak this into existence because I believe that happens, but man, you got to think a guy like that, as talented as he is, compounded on the fact that he was a head football coach last year at Buffalo, that people start calling for Mo Lindquist. Then again, I could also see, if something was to happen with Kane Womack down the road in terms of him getting another job, I think that Mo Lindquist could step in and be a high-quality defensive coordinator. So I know it's a long way, but I'm just thinking man, because Mo Lindquist, you hear him start talking, you start to hear his energy and his knowledge and that kind of combination of what he brings to the table. Man, Alabama's coaching staff is elite. Man, he did such a great job building up that coaching staff. I love to see it, and I love to hear from the assistant coaches and kind of hear their mindset. And, from the little information that we get, right, this is the type of coaching that the players are getting every single day, the type of mentorship and the type of knowledge that is going into their brain every single day. And, Brian, you're right, man. Auburn just flipped Deuce Knight from Notre Dame. Yeah, quarterback in the class of 2025. The number 2 dual threat quarterback in the country. And I mean, you start to look at every individual coach, I think will be, because coaches have always been poached from here. But this staff right here is making a lot of noise. And that's a sign of a good program. You're always going after the assistants. Nate Oates is dealing with that right now in basketball. I mean, that's what's amazing about last year's basketball run is a lot of people, were poached from his staff. Kimberly, what's up? I see you inside the comment box. Same thing with Chris, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, you stay relentless yourself, man. Even on Friday, go heavy, right? All right, so I have a question for you, all right? Now, I'd love some feedback here. All right, so look at the board real quick, and I'll take your calls in just a few minutes, and we'll do some score predictions. All right, but I was thinking about this. As we start to get in kind of to the back end of the SEC, or, our second game, I guess, and maybe, I don't even know if we're at the middle of the season yet. But I was thinking I can't remember where I was talking about this. No, this one today is Derrick Henry. This is my other one. So I have 2 of them. So this is Derrick Henry. Again, you can get these at Dick's Sporting Goods. And they're pretty good. They work really well. I'm not sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm just saying this is where I got this. These are tight, right? And this isn't an official autograph. All right, so right now, list which team do you hate most? Or fan base, or kind of and I put, Auburn Tigers, so type A. if it's Tennessee type T, there's Phil Firmer, right? And then you have LSU. Type in L, and I just put a corn dog. Yeah, and there's emojis in there too. I think we have an emoji for each of these ones, each of these teams. Caitlin's saying all of it. You know, as I continue to, cover Alabama and be immersed in it, I think the way the Alabama fans see Auburn right now is they expect what's happening to happen to Auburn, right? Like they're just like, well, you deserve all of this. Like all the bad stuff that's happening to you, you just deserve it. And we love to see it every time you lose and choke. And even the coach that you chose, like you deserve this, right? So it's like, it's comical what continues to happen to Auburn, right? And it is impressive that they're still recruiting at a high level. You forgot FSU. Because I was even surprised that they got Deuce Knight myself. Like, I think that was going to happen. We all saw that, and someone said checks cleared. I have no idea about all that, but you look to where that program's going. I mean, how much longer is Hugh Freeze even there for? I'll skip to LSU. Alabama fans do not like LSU. They don't. And when these two teams play, they don't like each other. But it doesn't seem like there's this completely year-long hate. And I think since Alabama's been so dominant within the matchup, I don't know. It's just like they meet and they hate each other and then you kind of go away and they hate each other. But they always, the hate's always there. But I mean, Alabama goes to Louisiana so often. Right? I mean, I've covered so many games in New Orleans. And Bama fans love New Orleans. It's just, they do hate them in the stadium, and the atmosphere does smell like corn dogs. But I do like the stadium there and that whole tailgating environment. Now with Tennessee, I think Tennessee is absolutely it. Stuff that happened in the past, the orange, the color, it seems like Tennessee is by far the team that Alabama fans hate most. Rocky Top going up there, right? I think absolutely. It'd be interesting to see who hates and I would imagine all teams hate Alabama. I don't know. It just seems like Tennessee. Just wanted to check the pulse on that. All right. Let's get some score predictions in. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here as we look to this next matchup between Alabama and Vanderbilt. Alabama going up to Nash Vegas. We start with our first score prediction, which is from Chris from New Jersey. Chris, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much for joining the show. Go ahead, man. Give me your score prediction and how you doing today. Go ahead.
Kyle, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man.
How'd your team do in golf the other day? You look a couple good swings there on Instagram.
Yeah, it was it was good. We didn't win. We won the Good Sportsmanship Award, which kind of tells you the overall picture of how we did. But no, we had a good time. It was for a high school charity event. I mean, I don't play much golf right now just because I'm so immersed kind of in the college football season. But yeah, it was fun to get out on the links a little bit and play. So yeah, it was nice. And it's super hot here in Tuscaloosa. It is so hot still. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to throw out 54-14 score prediction.
Okay.
And I've been slammed all week, so I haven't been able to call in. But Kyle, you and I, although we haven't met in person, we have spoken at least 100 times on the phone. I 100% consider you a buddy, and I'm wondering what the undefeated is going to say. Kyle, do not show those win percentages ever again, Kyle. You were giving us the jinx, man. I was dying with those 90%ers, and then we went and we were losing, Kyle. You're killing me, man.
Hey, Papa's channel in with the 99.
Why is he showing those things again?
Papa channel in with $99 super chat. Papa's Channel supporting the product in a big way. We appreciate you, Papa's Channel. Thank you so much, man.
Papa's Channel, get him, baby.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate it. That's the way to celebrate on Friday, right? So absolutely, man. Thank you so much. I think that's Papa Channel's first super chat maybe on the show. So damn, thank you so much. No, I know, Chris, like when we start to look at, and I was showing that that was the crazy thing, is they were 99% to win that game against Georgia. I would have never thought, I could see maybe Georgia coming back within like a touchdown or maybe, 2 or something like that. Even a touchdown would be surprising me. But for them to take the lead, and then the crazy thing was Georgia had a 76% chance to win the game before Milroe hit Williams for the touchdown. So, man, that was stressful.
Yeah, that was.
Did you tell me?
Hey, Kyle, one last thing before I go. I know you got a million calls.
Did you tell me your MVP?
Did you see Ryan Williams? Oh, did you see Ryan Williams handing out those beautiful Alabama necklaces to all the team?
Yeah,
see that video.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so if you missed it, Ryan Williams.
You got to get one of those, Kyle.
I know Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe are going around the whole facility and handing out chains that had an Alabama emblem, right? They were all diamonds they gave Milroe. I saw Milroe got one. I saw the assistant coaches. Yeah, so they're taking care of their own. I love it.
Yeah, Jihad Campbell got one. Come on, man. Oh, he gave one the Buck, too, my favorite player.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did see that.
All right. What time's the watch party, Kyle? Give us the numbers, man.
We'll do maybe an hour before the show, before the game tomorrow, and then, of course, roll through the game. Chris, did you give me your MVP for tomorrow?
Well, I'm going to stick with my man, Milroe. Milroe for Heisman. Hey, I know we've been joking a lot, but has anybody heard from Adam? I know that Georgia's in some rough shape, so and he hasn't been on. I hope he's okay. Yeah,
the thing about it is, so the storm, the way that impacted the country is obviously significant, and one of the headlines that I haven't seen is the state of Georgia suffered significant damage, like the eastern half of Georgia. So you're right. I think I have his number saved somewhere. I might check up on him individually, but yeah, we'll give you an update because North Carolina obviously going through a lot, but Georgia, there's so many people without power still to this day and dealing from a lot of it. So yeah, let's check on Adam out in Georgia.
Really
yeah.
Bad. Yeah,
good heads up. I appreciate you calling in, Chris, and good leadoff call,
all right,
man.
Kyle, we'll talk tomorrow, brother. Roll Tide.
Right.
Happy Friday.
Take it easy, Chris. All right. Hey, Papa Channel, thank you so much again for the support right here on Bama Football on YouTube. That's one of the ways that you can support the product. Same thing with becoming a fan funder, and I appreciate all the support. For you guys just watching the show, honestly, thank you so much. Friday, October 4th, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. We go back to the phone lines, and we have, looks like Mike calling in from Austin. Mike, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for joining the show. Free Mike, ladies and gentlemen. Come with it, Mike.
Hey, Kyle, in the SEC, there's trap games. That's when you come off a big game like Georgia, you got other big games coming, you have these trap games. And Vanderbilt apparently is a pretty decent team, because they're 2-2, and teams and games they've lost, they played pretty close, I think. So, and this quarterback of Vanderbilt, this Diego guy, he's got pretty good numbers from what you're putting up here on the board. So with that being said, Kyle, I think Alabama kills them, and I think Alabama beats them somewhere like about 50-20. I say somewhere in there. But like I mentioned, the SEC is very difficult. That's why it makes it tough from top to bottom, Kyle. You have to be careful with these trap games. I think Alabama's prepared for this game, mentally prepared for this game. But like I mentioned, they definitely have to be careful. But I think Alabama's going to take care of business this weekend.
Let me ask the undefeated real quick while we got you on, Mike. All right, so Mike feels that Vanderbilt will score 20 points. Let me ask you, undefeated, do you think that Vanderbilt will score more or less than 20 points? I would imagine the great majority say less. Here we're looking at the past couple games between Alabama, Vanderbilt. In 2022 it was 55-0, 59-0, 34-0. The past obviously does not dictate the future, and as Diego Pavia said in his recently interview that it's not the same roster that there's been. I just think that they score way less than that. I would imagine, I would be shocked if they even scored 10 points, to be honest, on Saturday. Maybe that's some rat poison that I'm throwing out there. All right, Mike, give me a game MVP. I know, this is a different game. Alabama's the heavy favorite, but do you maybe see Ryan Williams emerge once again? I mean, how are you feeling about the MVP?
MVP, I'll go a little different here, Kyle, and I say it's going to be a running back.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to start seeing more of our running back core. And, on that topic, by the way, it's hard for your running backs to get a lot of carries when your quarterback is such a good running back. Yep. Like a lot of these mill roll running plays are by design. And I understand when he's such a good runner, he's the best dual threat quarterback in the country. So we got these by design running plays. So it takes a lot of opportunity away from our running backs. Yeah. So with that being said, I think our running back's going to get more carries. So I'm going with Justice Haynes. I'll go with Justice Haynes being our MVP and him having some good runs, some explosive plays. It's all about explosive plays, Kyle. Yeah. That's what I love about this team. And like you were talking about earlier, the penalties with Kalen DeBoer. Well, when you play explosive football, when you play fast-paced football, then penalties tend to come with that a little bit. So you definitely have to, to take care to keep an eye on the penalties and not have too many penalties, especially in the SEC. But I'm going with the running back. I would say it could be Jim Miller, could be Justice Haynes. That's what's going to do. But I do see Alabama taking care of business. But there's so many. Kyle, you already know this, man, and so does the audience you're talking to. The SEC's tough, dude. There's so many trap games. I really don't think this is one of them, but there's so many trap games. And for instance, this weekend at Arkansas, there's a trap game. I think it's Tennessee at Arkansas. That's a major trap game. There's so many of them. So, but Vanderbilt just doesn't have what it takes to compete with Alabama. They just don't have what it takes. Yep. But so I see Alabama winning big, man.
All right. Appreciate the call, Mike. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for calling in from Austin. That was Mike out in Austin. Looks like we got Angel calling in and then a 417. Hey, Justin DeBoer in with a super chat. He says, "What's up, Kyle? New Bama fan this year, and you helped me learn about the team very quickly. I appreciate the super chat and welcome on in. I mean, there's a lot of Alabama football fans clearly on here that will welcome you on board, and we appreciate it. Justin DeBoer, thank you so much, man. Hell of a last name, right? When you call into the show, give me your score prediction and your game MVP. And then if I don't know your name, don't take offense to it. I think there was one time somebody said that, because I didn't know who was calling in, they took offense. Honestly, I answer the phone blindly. I don't have somebody who, monitors the calls. I take them in as they come. I understand there's danger to that because some people call in with the prank call, whatever. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I just move past those calls. But if you called in, it shows me how many times you've called in. And I do at times have a photographic memory so I can remember the area code. Plus, I've lived a bunch of different places, so I know area codes, right? Got area codes. And I'll kind of point to the name. But if I don't know who's calling in, don't take offense to it. I just want to put that out there as a disclaimer. Don't get your feelings hurt. All right? I got love for you. I promise. All right, 865. It's my boy Angel out in Pigeon Forge. Angel, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday, man.
Yeah. My score prediction for Vandy and Alabama is 66-16. Alabama wins this game big. I mean, I like Diego Pavia, but he hasn't really played against a high-quality SEC team. I know he beat Auburn last year because Auburn's a bunch of scrubs. But I do believe Alabama shuts this team up because you remember what happened a few years ago, and it was 2017 or whatever it was, where this Vandy player started talking smack about Alabama the next year on the schedule or whatever. I mean, yes, we are. Yep. And the next thing you know, they got shut out.
Yeah.
And I really do see the same thing happening here because Vandy, they're just not deep enough to compete with Alabama. And that's no offense to them. They've been terrible for a long time, and I don't really see the team being a possible trap game. Missouri maybe.
Angel, I was thinking about this as well. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a trap game either. I really don't. I think Alabama comes off, and I think they play really well against Vanderbilt, and they knock off all the things we want to see. By the way, I like Mike's MVP pick, Justice Haynes. I could see him scoring like 3 touchdowns in this game, kind of getting him fed. And Carol, thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments on the slides. You know what I think could be a trap game, though, is this South Carolina game next week, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about them. They're better than Vanderbilt. I don't know. This could be a pesky team coming in. The game's at 11. You're and I know Alabama practices in the morning, but you kind of, it's a sleepy Saturday. Nobody's talked about the Gamecocks coming in. I think that's much more of a trap game than Vanderbilt. I think they take care of business and, they roll this weekend. But that South Carolina game, I don't know. It kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies kind of a little bit out. I don't know. That might just be me. What about MVP? You got it 66 to what'd you say, 13 or 16? But what?
Yes.
Yeah. What about an MVP?
I'm going to say for offense, it's going to be Ryan Williams because he's way better than those receivers that Vandy has and defensive backs they have at Vandy. Because I did watch a couple of Vandy games. So I'm not really that impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Except for when I was beating Missouri, that's about it.
Yeah.
And defense is going to be Jahad Campbell. He's going to get feasted on this team.
Yeah.
Especially getting Diego Pavia's head. And I really do believe that because Diego hasn't really faced a high quality SEC team, except for like the bunch of scrubs Auburn has. They have no playmakers at Auburn, and they suck.
Yep.
But anyway, Kyle,
yeah,
I'm going to get ready to go, and you got other people calling. Roll Tide, man.
All right, thanks, Angel. Take it easy, buddy.
You too, man.
All right, my boy Angel out from Pigeon Forge. I've already told the story of what happened to me when I went to Pigeon Forge. It was literally in the month of March during COVID, right before everything went crazy. So it was 2020. I was playing football at a park in Pigeon Forge. I was up there, with family and friends. We had rented a cabin, and I dislocated my finger. I'll never forget about that. For now, I always associate that. But I did drive up to Gatlinburg, and it was cool. I'd never really been up to that area. So anytime I get to go up into the mountains, the Smokies, it's so amazing. I really love it. I need to get back up there. All right, 417, let's do it. Hey, thanks for calling in. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, guys, this is Timothy. I'm calling in from Georgia.
Timothy, I appreciate you, man. First of all, are you guys safe? Is your family okay? Being in Georgia, you guys doing okay from the weather?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I'm a truck driver, so I'm everywhere.
Okay, yeah, I think you remember you saying that last time. So, okay, glad you're safe in the area, making your rounds and stuff like that. Anyways, welcome to the show, man. We're doing score predictions and game MVPs, so go ahead and start, man.
My score prediction is going to be 56-3 because this defense is going to be wreaking havoc this weekend after the points they gave up and after letting off the gas that last week against Georgia in the second half. I think the defense is going to be locked in, and they're going to be ready for them, even though it's a trap game. But I think Alabama's just way too OP right now.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think the coaches will probably do a really good job with this team in terms of making them not satisfied. Because like I keep alluding to, like, yeah, you beat Georgia, 14 million people, but like, what did you win? Really? Nothing, right? I think it's an insurance win and, catches your eye from recruits and you'll probably get a flip or two from it. But like overall, you didn't win anything. So continue to go heavy until you have like really put some stuff in your bag. But that's just another win in terms of their pyramid of success. I would imagine that the defense comes out and they play heavy, they play hard. Diego Pavia, this is a quarterback that you certainly want to attack, who has competitive spirit that we'd like. So I think I think that there's no letdown in this game at all. Go ahead, Timothy. What else you got, man?
Yeah, for the MVP, I'm gonna say on the offensive side I got Ryan Williams once again, or Jeremy Bernard. But on the defense, I'm gonna go with LT Overton.
Ooh.
He's been pretty big, but I think this game he's gonna have at least 2 sacks. I think he's gonna show everybody like why he went to Alabama. He came from Texas A&M. I think he had like 4 or 5 sacks last year. When I watched a few of their games, he's a big time player. and big-time playmaker on the defensive side. But I think he's going to have a true coming-out party this weekend.
Yeah, no, I like that. And LT Overton has been a key piece on Alabama's defense. By the way, thank you, Patriot Life, for your fan fundership contributions. He allowed 5 people to become fan funders of Bama football on YouTube. Patriot Life up in Chattanooga, always taking care of us here on Bama football on YouTube. Anything else, Timothy, before you go?
That'll be about it.
All right, man. Stay safe on the road, man, and call again next time.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. All
right, you too. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you think about Alabama's defense, I mean, I don't think that we've been forgetting about LT Overton, but, man, like his overall pro football focus grade and what he's been able to do from that bandit position has been really impressive. Jahad Campbell, I mean, the guy's been balling out. I saw him on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, talking about this Alabama defense and, man, I'm so proud of him. Him and Deontay Lawson, I think within this defensive set, they've been able to flourish, and I think this defensive set will allow them to also increase their NFL draft stock. And, yeah, I did see earlier Ryan Williams handing out the chains to, like, this guy. Like, it gets better and better. I love this. I'm loving it. The guys are so happy. Like, Jalen Milroe puts on his chains. He's like, I could rock this. Like, yeah, I love it. It's the positive vibes. I'm here for it. All right, 813, let's do it. Hey, what's going on? You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? It's Case from Tampa again.
Case, man, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here, man. Happy Friday. Case has been, one of our top contributors inside the comment box recently this year. A lot of support. So, Case, honestly, first of all, thank you very much for your support of the channel, and thank you for calling in, man. So, come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, you got to support the product, Kyle. You're
absolutely,
the best in the
man.
business.
Thank you.
The game was awesome at Georgia. The game day was bigger than I thought it was going to be. I mean, obviously it was big. It was Georgia and Alabama, but I had a sign for you, but I don't know if it made it on TV, but it was good nonetheless.
Yeah, just keep, anytime you get an opportunity for the sign, keep it in the garage or whatever. Bust it out next time you come to College Game Day. Yo, by the way, Case, did you see College Game Day is going to Cal, right, for the Cal-Miami game? And the guest picker, of course, has to be Marshawn Lynch, right? Who's, yep. So I'm kind of right. I'm looking forward to what he says on air. Him and Pat McAfee together. That sounds like an interesting combo. Your overall experience in Tuscaloosa, did you have a good time here?
It was absolutely amazing. I mean, I've been to the campus before, over many years. But, I mean, just over the years, it's just changed so much. And when you bring College Game Day in to Tuscaloosa and a game against Georgia, I mean, it was electric. When Ryan Williams caught that pass to go ahead, my ears instantly started ringing. The stadium exploded.
There was people. There were people saying
absolutely electric. I couldn't have asked for a better game.
There are people saying that are regulars at Alabama home football games that was the best game that they've ever seen inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, like ever. I mean, for the people that were able to witness that and kind of get a feel from it, absolutely. And ever since Alabama, because you know what, like over the last couple of years, Alabama needed to work on their night games, believe it or not. Like they were, night games are always intimidating, but they didn't have, once they put these lights in, kind of updated the sound system and stuff like that and added the TVs, they've really increased their value in terms of a night game. Because I thought going to like LSU's different, right? Their games are, that's a tough place to play. But since Alabama switched it up, they've certainly, gotten to that pinnacle of tough places to play at night. I love the night games. So that's why I don't like this 11 a.m. against South Carolina. But go ahead, Case.
Hey, Alabama is the standard, man, when it comes to coaching, when it comes to even the stadium and the pageantry. I mean, we were the first stadium in college football to do the LED light show like we do.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody likes to copy us. So does Kirby, but they just can't get it right. But let me give you the Vandy breakdown, okay?
All right.
So you don't think I'm crazy when I say they're going to score this much, because I think it's going to be all in late game when we have secondaries in. I think they're going to keep their starters in all game. And then I think that they'll probably get like 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter late game. I think the final score is going to be around like 63-21.
Huh.
as for MVP, I think they'll get like 2 late scores, honestly, because this is the best Vandy team that they've had in probably like since that guy challenged us like 6 years ago and said we're going to show you how to play SEC football, and we beat them and didn't let us score a single point. But this is the best. I mean, we saw Vandy. I mean, they beat Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech just brought Miami down to the wire. And truthfully, a lot of people think they should have won with that Hail Mary in the end. So, I mean, it's the ACC. You can never tell how good someone is until the end of the year when they get blown out in the playoffs. But regardless to that, it's a good Vandy team. I think they will score probably. It'll either be 17 or 21. In my opinion, but I mean, hey, we may blow them out. You never know. But that's if we play a lot of this. I think we will play a lot of the secondary who haven't got a lot of snaps. For MVP, I'm going Jam Miller, my man, my main man, Jam. I think he's going to get like 3 tutties easily. And then for defensive MVP, I'm going to go Jahai Campbell.
Yeah, I like those picks. I was even because Mike had it Justice Haynes as his MVP, and I think one of the 2 running backs. I kind of just feel that I'm siding with Mike on this because I think Justice Haynes hasn't just had the repetitions over the last couple of games. I mean, he had 2 against Wisconsin. I think like they tried to feed him against Georgia. They did. I think Georgia just had a really good attack in terms of their rush defense, and kind of Milroe did his thing. But they did try to feed him, and they did go to him against Georgia. It's just Georgia's defense. Anything else you want to hit on, Case, before you bounce out?
Oh, nothing, man. Just trying to keep it down here, fix everything up in Florida. The storm didn't affect us too bad. It was mostly just I work for a utility company, so we restore power when we come back down and storms come through. And main damage was just from storm surge all along the coast, from Naples all the way up to the Panhandle. But house is good. Nothing's flooded at mine. We're safe, and it was a great game at Georgia, and love the show, love the product, and I'll continue to support it, Kyle.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for being here, man. Thanks, Case. All right. Lisa in with us. This is like Super Chat Friday. This has become payday for me today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Lisa in with the $49.99 Super Chat. Thank you so much for supporting the product. Are you seeing this little hippopotamus or whatever that's coming out of it looks like a treasure trunk. Are you seeing this too? I've never seen that before. All right, Corey in with some trivia for me. Kyle, trivia question. What is the song the Bama players sing in the tunnel before they take the field? Heard it against Notre Dame in 2012 and again on Saturday night. You know what? I don't know that. Is there some? Could I use a lifeline? Is there somebody in the undefeated that can help me out with Corey's question? Please, I'm deferring to the undefeated. And Corey, thank you so much for the Super Chat, man. Thank you. I appreciate you for hitting me up. And I'm using a lifeline for the song in the tunnel. All right. So keep me posted if you guys can help me out. Corey, thank you so much, man. Love you. Appreciate it, man. 630. Let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
All right. And what's your name?
Jimmy.
All right. Jimmy from Chattanooga. Go ahead, Jimmy. Welcome to the show, man.
Oh, thank you. First-time caller. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. And you want to start with the score prediction for this weekend's game between Alabama and Vanderbilt?
I'm really superstitious about that type of thing. I've never done it. I've never predicted a score because I don't want to jinx the team that I love so freaking much, But the gentleman that just was online before I was, he's got a very good point. This is probably one of the better Vanderbilt teams we've seen in a while. So I think they will score. And he brought up that one gentleman that said we're gonna show Alabama some SEC football, and I think that game was 59-0, and that's when they got Nick Saban laughing on the sidelines. And they were trying to run up the score a little more because they wanted to hit that 60 mark. So I think it was 59-0 at that game, and it was such a fun game. But I'm assuming that Bama will hit at least 55 points, and I know that Vanderbilt will probably hit 14 to 17 points, probably, but just because they are looking better than what they've had in the past 20 years, probably. That's my assumption. I hate doing that just because sometimes Alabama does, we we didn't make the proper adjustments in the second half of the Georgia game, and Georgia did make the right adjustments. I'm just happy we have some skilled players that pulled it off and played well, and that young secondary pulled off that interception. I wasn't at the game. I was at home screaming. My cat didn't want to be near me. It was a great game.
All right, Jimmy, what about game MVP?
You know, I'm the biggest Milroe fan probably ever. When I watched him come in garbage time probably a few years ago, I was like, that guy looks like a little young Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I want to say him, but I think that the running backs in this game are going to really break out again.
Yeah.
Because of what Georgia's defense ended up doing. So Jam Miller and Justice Haynes, I think they're going to feed them the rock, and they're going to really get, north and south. I think it'd be a really good run game for these guys.
All right, Jimmy. Well, I appreciate you calling in from Chattanooga. Enjoy your game. I would imagine at some point in time there'll be some yelling and screaming. Hopefully it's on the positive side for Saturday, but keep calling in, and I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much.
Will do.
All right,
Thank
man.
you. Thanks for what you do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much. Someone send me the song, like where you heard it on the video, to my email, nmpreps@gmail.com, or you could send it on Twitter, Bama_football. Or anywhere, Mr. Kyle Henderson on Instagram. That's another area. If you need to get pumped up for your workouts, it's kind of more like a motivational approach that I take on there. 615, you're up next. It's not Thunderstruck. They do play that kind of in the pregame, but I think this is kind of a more individualized song that just kind of with the players. So let me know. We got some Rat Poison on the board. Alabama 92% chance to win this game, and I think they're favored still by 24.5, or at least that was the open. It looks like it slid down to 23. I would imagine, I'm taking over that. I think Alabama wins. I'll give you my score prediction in here in just a minute, but let's take the 615. Hey, 615, you're up. What's up?
615, you're up.
Hello, who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from? Hey, 615, there's like a really bad echo. Yeah, I don't know. 615, call back. There was like a really, it was super echoey. Here's my score prediction. I have it Alabama. Let's go with 56 to 3. I'll do 56-3. I think when you look at this game, I mean, I get it. And I am excited about this Vanderbilt team because, I roll with Diego. I just think that Alabama's defense, I don't think there'll be any type of let up in this game. The past doesn't equal the future, and I know that Alabama's kind of had their way with Vanderbilt, but I think looking at the specifics of the team right now, Alabama is playing elite football, and they will capitalize on that. And I think the coaching staff will do a really good job to tell them, look, job isn't done, job's not finished, so continue to press forward. That's kind of the way that I see this game. It's a big score prediction against a much improved Vanderbilt team. Look, this team's lost 2 games in overtime. I understand that. I just feel that Alabama right now, if they play dominating football and they play, 4 quarters of football, I think that Alabama does what they want with Vanderbilt. All right, 615, let's try it again. Hey, are you there? Hey, we'll try again next time, man. There's too much of an echo on that 615. I don't know what was going on there. So that's my score prediction, and I appreciate you guys sending in your score prediction today on the Score Prediction Show. This is Friday. I appreciate all the super chats. Papa's channel with the 100 spot. We got Lisa Lucht in here with 49. We had additional super chats come in that I appreciate. Corey, I will look for that song for you. I promise. I like looking for that stuff. We had Patriot Life with 5 fan funderships. We had Justin DeBoer who came in. So I appreciate everybody who joined the show today. I will also upload this in podcast format, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just look for Bama Football on YouTube. You can also interact with us on our Facebook channel, which is very active. Just look for Bama Football on Facebook. So everything all the same. As news happens, I'll bring that right here to Bama Football on YouTube. Remember, an hour before kickoff tomorrow, I will be live as we have our watch-along, which contains a pregame show, the live watch-along interaction, all the way to the post-game show, and Coach Kalen DeBoer. That will be right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I hope you have an amazing Friday. I hope that you stay positive. thoughts and prayers for anybody out there that is going through anything that might even be unspoken, right? Sometimes you just need a little bit of prayer. So our thoughts and prayers with you always, and especially those impacted by the storm. Thank you very much for supporting me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I have a lot of gratitude and appreciation for all of you that help make this channel what it is. So I appreciate you guys. And one more time, from beautiful Hollywood, Alabama, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube, wishing you an amazing Friday. And I'll catch up with you soon, or as news happens, right here.